Hello guys of United Rock Nations, we are with Johannes Michael of Avatar. How are you?
I'm doing very good, how are you?
Fine, thank you. You arrived today in Paris?
Yeah, this morning.
This morning?
Yeah, we left London around 4:30. We went to take that speedy bullet train over here, so it's a bit, you know.
Okay, good. The last time we met you was during the Avenged Sevenfold tour.
Yeah.
How was the tour with
It was amazing, it was really good, and especially, actually, the Paris show was one of the ones I remember most fondly. It was, I don't know, I shouted "Fête du bordel" and people fêted the bordel. It was insane, really good. It was, you know, a little Pikachu dressed guy was floating around in the audience, huge mosh pit, they were really into it, and it was pretty much the same on every show we did during the whole tour.
And do you think that you have earned new fans with that tour?
That I know, actually. It's huge difference on, you know, traffic on Facebook and the way you measure it nowadays, those kind of things. We know we won a couple of new ones.
Let's talk a little bit about Black Walls. Did you expect such a success?
We were expecting that we wouldn't be in the band anymore. Right when we started recording it, in a way, because we were really down and out mentally and creatively stuck and everything, and there was a depression circulating within the band, and we started to feel like, okay, if this doesn't take off, maybe we should just quit.
Oh.
But that also led to us thinking, and if we quit, then we're gonna, you know, go out with a bang. So let's pull our shit together and do the best album we can according to ourselves. Let's not compromise with anything. Let's go all in on everything. Let's waste all of our money on it. Let's, you know.
Yes.
And that is apparently how you do a good album. So
it's a very good album.
Yeah, thank you. And it's funny that when we did something that was really, truly not compromising and not caring about anyone except for ourselves, seems to have been when people really started to care. So.
And that's the same spirits of the new album made what you want to do?
How do you mean?
Is it the same spirit of doing what you want to do with the same
on the one coming now?
Yes, the new album.
Yeah, for sure. What happened also with Black Walls is that we finally, I feel like, because we had 3 albums before that one,
yes,
and I'm really proud of them for different reasons. You know, we were really young in the beginning and we learned a lot along the way, and there's some really cool songs, but with Black Walls, things finally really came together, and Avatar as a concept, as a piece of art, really started to be something more than just a bunch of songs.
Yes.
And the songs turned out to be way more original, according to me, and something fresh for real this time. So we found our little path in music that belongs to us, and we have kept on walking on it and kept on exploring it, and that led to Hail the Apocalypse, which is just more of the good stuff that we discovered that we were able to do.
For you, what's the main difference between Black Walls and Hail the Apocalypse?
Well, musically, I think we take some stuff more to its extremes. The aggressive parts, it's heavier.
Yes, it's heavier. Absolutely.
It's heavier,
yes.
But then also it's more dynamic.
I'm okay with that, yes.
Yeah, we got, you know, more soft parts. There are more, you know, more stripped parts, and we are not afraid to put any kind of emotion on there. And we got even better at that. And then one main difference is that we recorded it live.
That's a big difference.
That's a huge difference, and it was a last-minute decision. We did it in Thailand, actually.
Yes, absolutely.
And on the way over, we saw this documentary that Dave Grohl made about Sound City Studios, where, you know, Nevermind was recorded and so much stuff before that, and they were just talking about the recording live and human factor and everything. And we decided, like, we can do that. So we did. Last minute decision. We tried our first day. Our producer was really nervous, but after the first take, he was like, okay, gonna run with this. And so that adds so much more of a human factor to the album, which, you know, there are tiny mistakes there. So it is, you know, on a Led Zeppelin recording as well. That's a human album, and Ace of Base is not. And we prefer Led Zeppelin, you know. So human factor plays a big part of it this time.
How Jay Ruston and Paul Logus influence the sounds of the songs?
Well, I think they really... they came into the project very, very late, because originally producer Tobias was supposed to mix it as well. But I think that this time it became clear that we worked even closer with him than last time, because we were living together for a whole month. We were in each other's faces, and he had us in his face in a totally different way this time. So I don't feel that he had the distance to mix it like he had the with Black Walls, and he also mixed the album before that. So it's time for something new, and anyway we want to try new stuff all the time, because we don't want to repeat ourselves. That's why you go to Thailand,
yes,
for instance. And we that didn't work, so we were trying out some new guys, and it was American management that suggested Jay Ruston. We didn't know so much I'm not good at keeping track on producers and mixing people anyway, so I didn't know much about it. But I was a bit worried that it would be Americanized, that it would lose the European edge on it. We had some concerns, but then he sent it back, and I feel he really captured what Avatar was about. It really, the songs became even bigger. It really fills out the room in a way. He did an amazing job.
Tell us about the writing process. Who brings the ideas? Is it a collective way of create the songs, or just one or two people?
It's really a collective thing, and
yes.
that is. We start out, that we all go to our own little corner and crank out some
yes.
riffs and ideas and stuff and present them. But very early on, we start collaborating together, and we simply start stealing each other's riff and stuff. There's the track "What I Don't Know" is a cool example of how Jonas Kungen, our guitar player, he wrote some stuff for a song, and then me and Tim were looking through, the computer files what we have recorded, and he started to remember, wait, Kungen did something cool here, and we checked it out, and we're like, oh yeah, let's do this song. Let's do his song for him, and we did the song. And then he came back later that day, and like, awesome, and then he added his touch again, and also John came in, and we started to, jam around with the beat and everything, and so everyone is there touching each other's stuff the whole time. So it's really a group effort.
So before your rehearsal, before entering the studio?
How do you mean?
Your rehearsal before?
Yeah. For hours on end.
Let's talk about the songs. I have 4 songs that I choose the new album. Let's talk about the first one is Hail the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
The video is fantastic.
Thank you.
Why you have chosen this song for the single?
I think it's a great musical statement to show where we are at. That I think I have not heard that riff before Tim wrote it. I had not heard something like that, and I think we created a great heavy groove around it. Absolutely. And we are so much about the groove nowadays that it really showed that part of it, and it also feels good, like because there is some stuff that probably is radio friendlier on the album and all that, but we want to be just put out the metal first, scream in people's faces before we start talking, and I think it plays a great part in doing that.
Yes, it's a great video also. Yes.
Thank you.
Why you have choose Hail the Apocalypse for the title of the album?
It binds together. I think this has to be like the darkest album lyric-wise and everything, and song-wise, that we have done, and it is looking at it dwells in very dark themes, usually with a psychological nature, and how to deal with things in life and in the world, and trying to cope with things. And one way of dealing with it, and the way we choose to deal with it by making music, is that we embrace darkness, and so therefore we hail the apocalypse.
You wrote all the lyrics?
Yeah, I think. I think actually it is because there's always someone. Actually, my mother helped with the Tsar Bomba. I'm half German. We did a song in German this time, and I just wanted to get the grammar right. So that was a funny collaboration. Sit there and scream violently and show my mother those ideas. It was a great collaboration.
Let's talk about Vultures Fly.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like Marilyn Manson song. Is that one of your influences, Marilyn Manson, or not?
Yeah, it is. Actually, more in later days. I remember he was one of those. I guess I've been really scared of music twice, and the first time I got in was with Black Sabbath, and specifically it was. Do you remember? I don't remember. There was in the '90s. There was this album collection with the cross on the front,
yes,
and it starts off with some demo recordings of the early Black Sabbath days. So the first song I ever heard by Black Sabbath and with Ozzy Osbourne was the Black Sabbath rehearsal recording, and that had the weirdest vibe ever. And then I got scared of music for the first time. And the second time was with the Dope Show music video. I was right before hitting puberty, and I was really like, I don't know what's going on. Why is he having tits? I don't, it freaked me out. So it has had some staying power. But then I feel where he comes more from a rock and roll and a gothic and a new wave kind of perspective. We are first and foremost a metal band in all other sense. I listen more to Immolation and Judas Priests.
Okay.
But lots of respect for the person, especially on an intellectual level, and we are very influenced by all these different visual artists and the bands and artists that are able to deliver the whole package. But that can be Marilyn Manson, Alice Cooper, Rammstein, Kiss, Slipknot, or the Hives.
You wore the makeup also, like Alice Cooper.
It's a great tradition to be a part of.
And why the makeup?
It started with the Black Waltz, the song, and also became the first music video from that album. I mean, we were going to work with these people from this sideshow group called Helsa Poppin', and we just needed me to fit in the setting for the song and for the video. So it was originally just for that. But when we put that makeup on me and the face paint, our makeup artist that we worked with, and her name is Johanna, she got figure out the details of it, looked in the mirror, snap, something just happened. There was a clown in the back of my head waiting to come out, and something came alive that I didn't realize was there, and none of us did. And it just became the face of our music. We finally found a way to visualize what we are doing and what we are about,
And this is...
Yeah, that's the result.
Makeup.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about two more songs.
Sure.
Puppet Show.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
It sounds like we are in a carousel.
Yeah.
Let me know more about that song.
Well, it was almost, as far as I remember, it was almost written as a joke by Jonas Kungen originally. He, just a funny thing he cranked out. And, we all laughed a little bit to this that the whole thing. But we also loved it. And we also felt like we can really do something with this. And then it took a million turns to trying to make it work. Then it went back to the original version, plus that I'm playing some trombone on it. And I don't know, it just was one of those, maybe it wasn't supposed to be an Avatar song, but it turned out to be a perfect one.
It's a great song, yes.
Thank you.
And we also love a lot Get It Line.
Mm-hmm.
It's very heavy. So tell me more about that song also.
To me, it's a punk rock song of the album. It's the one that really musically shows, during the whole song, shows what people are supposed to do in the audience. It's the mosh pit moment. It's the headbanging moment. It is full of these really metal moments done for being us, a very straightforward, primitive way. So for that reason, it has become... it's so hard for me to pick a favorite every time you ask about a song. I'll say, oh, that's one of my favorites. But this is one of my favorites for that reason, that it's one of the more straightforward on the album. I think, if I remember, I think the main riff was written by Tim, but I don't even remember who wrote what anymore. I don't even remember what I wrote in most of the cases. But yeah, it's one of those that to dare to be more straightforward. It was actually the first song we recorded also to try if the live take worked for us. And it's, as you can hear, it's a real groovy one. So
you will play it live, probably.
For sure, I will fight for it. Yeah, definitely.
Talking about the tours, I know that you will play 2 gigs in France.
Yeah.
In little venues.
Yeah.
Do you plan to do another tour with a band like you do with Avenged Sevenfold?
Well, it's too early to say the word plan, but we intend to. What we're doing now is warming up, basically. We're getting started, and this happened right around the time, right before the album comes out. So it's more of a single promotion kind of thing, I guess, and just to remind the people, all the great people we met in the arenas around Europe, that we are still around and we have something to say here. So it's hopefully this fall it will be more extensive and hopefully more focused in the cities of like Paris and Lyon, and
yes,
do a more proper French and European tour cycle.
Okay. What do you want to say to the French fans about the new album?
Well, when I listen to it, I want to urge them in the way I did when we played here last time and just say faites du bordel.
Faites du bordel. Right. Thank you, Johannes. Hope to see you live.
For sure.
On stage.
We'll be back as soon as we can.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Hello, I'm Johannes Avatar, and you're watching United Rock Nations.